I want to challenge you today. Stop purchasing the greeting cards. Stop purchasing Valentine's card. Stop purchasing happy birthday cards and all those pre-wedded cards. Stop and start writing letters. If you are married, start writing a letter to your spouse. If you are the wife, write a letter to your husband. If you are the husband, write a letter to your wife. If you are a parent, you are a father, you are a mother, start writing a letter to your child. Trust me, they will come to appreciate you very, very much. And I'm saying this one with a perfect example to myself. It started in the year 2012, to be exactly. It was the first birthday of my son, Benedict. I was wondering, what special gift should I give to my son? And every gift I was thinking about buying a very nice shoes. But everything I'm going to buy, he will forget them. He's just 1 year old. And I'm not the person to go and buy those cards, happy birthday son, happy birthday my daughter, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Because remember, who is writing those cards? Is someone like me, someone like you, who is writing to the child, like Dear Benedict, then they take out the names, and then you're going to sell that card for you. So those cards, those words are not meant for you. They're meant for someone with that feeling to their loved ones. So I'd say, let me write a letter. And when my son grows up to reach a point he can be able to read or grown up, I will give these letters. So these are some of those letters. You'll be able to see. These are some of the letters I've been writing to my son, and obviously now my daughter and whatever, my daughters and also my wife over the years. So these are some of those. But later I decided to change, to take these letters to be able to put them into typing. So I started typing them and writing them into just into Microsoft Words. So I've been writing letters to my son, to Benedict. I've started writing letters to my daughter Claire, my daughter Faustina. I've been writing letters to my wife, and I've been writing letters to myself. So through those letters, I converted those letters to become books. So for instance, A Loving Father, majority of these letters are for Benedict. Yes, there are a few for Claire. At this time, Faustina was not born yet. Then these are letters for Claire. So this is A Loving Father. This is Claire Francisca, the happiest girl on earth. And then these are the letters to my daughter Faustina. Before she was born, I started writing letters to her. So we say letters to my unborn daughter, Faustina Marie. And then here are letters to EBM, letters to myself. So I've been writing these letters. And through this way, I've inspired other people over the time. So for instance, Victoria David, she has 2 books. One is this one. She started writing letters to her son, Darling. So this is the book which is in Swahili, but they have the English one. Damu Yangu Darling is the Swahili. They have the, I think it's My Blood Darling is English, which is also on Amazon. So what I've started doing, it is also is going to inspire other people. So today I want to challenge you, to encourage you to do that. But you can ask yourself, how can I write this letter? This is just maybe for my son is 1 year old, or my daughter is 6 months old. How do I go to write? So I usually tell people, simple way, write what you have in your heart. I can give you an example. This book is from Chimamanda. It's called Dear Ijiowele, or a Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions. A friend of Chimamanda had a baby, and that friend asked Chimamanda for suggestion on how to raise a baby girl to be a feminist or to be someone with the world of women's rights. So Chimamanda wrote 15 suggestions, and those 15 suggestions convert to be this tiny small book, this one, and is the best seller. So the same thing, but I mean this book was published not a long time ago, but I've already published my books, so I didn't do because this book was out. No, I've been writing this one since 2012, writing these books, these letters. So I'm going to give you one example of the letter I wrote to Benedict. The purpose of these letters, when I talk to them what I have in my heart. So I don't need to buy a card to hear someone's feeling telling their son. No, I want to tell what I feel to my son, what I feel to my wife, not to the feeling to his wife, and then I just change the name. No, I want my feeling. So that's why I challenge you to stop buying those cards, because if you go into deep, those are not your words. Write your words. They will mean a lot than the words from just someone already writing, composing a card. So I'm going to give you one of the letter I wrote to Benedict. This is the one I wrote in the year 2017, and it is going to explain to why I'm writing some of these letters. Yeah. So the letter starts as follows. Letters from your loving father, Benedict Fulbright Makulilo. My dearest son, Benedict Fulbright. Benedict, I believe you might be asking yourself some questions about all these letters. Before answering your question, I would like to share one important quote from Steve Jobs. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for many days in a row, I know I need to change something. When I think of you and Claire, life and death, I always think of the legacy I'm going to leave to you. In the year 2011, I came across to Randy Poch's The Last Lecture series. He had a very rare and complex form of cancer. His days were numbered. He had to sort all his affairs, saying goodbye, and teach his kids everything a father should do to a child for many years. But he didn't have 18 years to live and teach his kids, rather just a few months. He decided to have what he called the last lecture. I think he used the lecture format because he was a university professor. My son, if you look on Randy's story, he had an opportunity to know how many days he left to his life. Many of us will never know when our time has come. It is a mystery. That's why I agree with Steve Jobs again that we should always live as today is our last day in our lives. We should teach our kids everything we are supposed to teach them, guide them as if we would not be here on planet Earth forever. So how did I start writing all these letters in the first place? It all started on your first birthday, Benedict. It was on February 10th, 2012. As a loving and committed father, I was looking for the most perfect gift for my 1-year-old son. In that search of the gift, I came to realize that no matter how beautiful the gift is, you will never remember due to your young age. It was at that moment I started looking what important thing I can give which you will like and always remember. Only one thing came to my mind: write a letter to Benedict. And when you grow up and know how to read, I will give to you. I believe you'll appreciate more, and probably keep it for your friends and kids. Through these letters, as you can see, Benedict, I address you as a person, not just a kid who doesn't have sense. Since I do not know the time when I will go to our Father in heaven, I think it is important to have something like the last lectures. I have written over 100 letters so far for the period of 6 years of my life. Now, I'm not only writing these letters to you alone, but also to your sister Claire, your mother Marie. I write to myself, to my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, and a few friends. In case you didn't know, I do not like to purchase cards from the store. I believe someone appreciates more when you write a message as it comes from your heart. When I'm writing these letters, I get time to reflect, think, and appreciate every little things from someone I know. It gives a deeper meaning of care, appreciation, love, and friendship. Therefore, I would like for you to be making handmade cards, drawings, and anything from your heart rather than buying cards which are technically designed for someone but just blank names. I would like to share with you something very important I've never told anyone. When I was in the basic military training boot camp in the Great Lakes, Illinois, back in the fall 2012, letter writing was one of the best things to be with you. Was one of the best things for me to be with you in my mind all the time. I was having a mental picture of everything since you were born, when I hold you on my hands for the first time, and every little thing you would never imagine. All these images in my mind kept me going. I was able to overcome anything I came across. I wrote so many letters by that time. Benedict, you might never know how much you have helped me. You have helped to change me and shape my life. Without knowing, you have helped me to think about my life 30 to 50 years to come. As I wrote on your first birthday letter, you are the reason, Benedict. You will always be that reason, the game changer. Thank you so much, and I love you dearly. Benedict, before Claire was born, I was planning to publish the book with the title The Benedict Factor. I have now letters of your sister Claire. I had to change the title A Loving Father to include both of you and many children around the world who might read these letters and learn something, or to any parent around the world to get something from these letters. I love both of you very much, and I love you very much, and you kids are inspiration to my life. One last thing, Benedict, for me, studying hard and getting good results in school and so forth were not very strange things at all. I grew up in a family of 13 children, and seeing everyone doing great things in school made my path very easy. This is what I'm creating for you. When you grow up, to see someone publishing a book or bestseller will be a normal thing. You have a living example in the house of your father writing books. This will motivate you to write something even more beautiful than mine. But another important lesson for you and Claire is to understand that each person is God's masterpiece creature. Therefore, has something unique to offer to others. The story of your life will be a lesson and inspiration to another person. Don't take things for granted and assume you are just a normal kid and everything is normal. I love you so much, son. It's me, your loving Baba, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, Kansas, United States of America. That was April 2nd, 2017. So, these are some of the letters when I write, I do that way. So I just talk from the heart, blah, 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 kind of that. So there are a series of letters of that nature. And sometimes I write letters to myself. Let me quickly read one of my letters. This is the letter I wrote this 2021 on my birthday when I became, on 23rd of, on my 40th birthday. Letter to future self on my 40th birthday. Dear future me, Ernest, I know today is September 23rd, a very special day as you are making 40 years since you debuted on this planet Earth. While it looks like a change of date like any other day, remember it is very important to take time to appreciate the gift of life and thank God for good health, proper guidance, great achievements, and happiness. Ernest, this is the famous quote that says, life really begins at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. That is a quote from Carl Jung. Therefore, you have now completed your research, use the data, findings and recommendations and experiences of 39 years of your life to start living the second half of your life. Yes, just like in the World Cup, no matter what happened in the first half of the soccer match, you have the second half to reflect. You have the half time to reflect. Use everything you have learned on your opponent, in this case, the life. Change the technique if needed. You bring important substitution, meaning you don't need to do everything by yourself. Collaborate with other people who you really need, and go back to the soccer game to win that second half of the World Cup final before the final whistle. That means before you die. Ernest, in case you don't win and the final whistle is blown, make sure you gave everything on the pitch. No regrets. Make it memorable. Leave the legacy, and above all, end the match with dignity. This will make other players, your children, your family, your friends, community, and the future of the world of soccer, the world at large, always remember you as the legend and use your inspirations to better themselves. As you always say, you don't need to be Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey to inspire people. You are inspiration to others in so many ways because you are God's masterpiece. Continue to do your things which you are best at, and don't allow room for failures, since you have so many experiences of over 39 years. I know you have so many goals to accomplish in the next 40 years. Always remember, life is not a sprint. Stay on your lane. Do what fits you and your family. Define your success, achievements, and above all, what makes you happy without being trapped into others people's dreams and their lifestyles. So I'm looking forward to reading many more books you plan to publish. I'm also waiting to see that you take EBM Scholars on a full-time basis. I think by the end of 2025, I will remind you and see how far you have gone to give you another reflection. It is also okay to change your mind on things, to change your goals, Stay focused, stay hungry, keep learning, respect others, and continue to be there for your loving family. Everything will cycle that. Happy 40th birthday, Ernest. Start the second half of your life now. It's me, your future you, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, September 23rd, 2021. So this is what I'm saying. I challenge you. Write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to your wife. Write a letter to your children. I have letters to my wife, my kids, everybody, even to friends. I have all those type of letters. So I want to challenge you so that you can be in a position to do things of this nature. You can turn to be a book, just like how Victoria David converted one of this one to be a book, but also have English book, writing letters to her son. That is another way. And this is the world we have to do. Or if someone asks you for advice about, let's say, business, take that advice, convert that advice to be a book. Just like Chimamanda was asking to give advice about raising a child, gave the suggestions in writings, and those suggestions became a bestseller. So even if it's not become a bestseller, but you have written something, you have written your book, you have written something, if you die, your family, your grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, whatever, you are no longer here on the planet Earth, they will remember you. Just think for a minute, what if right now Barack Obama is visiting in Kenya and is going to see the letters his father has been writing or was writing before he died? All these letters, like all the letters I've been able to write, those will mean a lot. Or just yourself at this time. Let's say you are 50 years old and one day you are looking on something on the drawer and you find 5 letters from your father addressing things of that nature. How much he loves you, how much he appreciates you, how much is he planning future for you. They mean a lot. So that's why you don't need to go to buy those pre-designed cards with letters. You can buy a blank card and write your words. Because if you're going to buy a card, it's just like someone like me, they ask you, they pay me, write a card from a father to a son on a birthday. So I'll be thinking about my son Benedict, or write a letter to a daughter on birthday or in graduation. I'll be thinking about my children. Or write a letter for Valentine's for your wife. So I'm writing for my wife, but I don't put the name, but in my mind, and you're going to put the name, but those are not your words. Those are my words. So write what comes from your heart. Don't think about how beautiful the language is. the biggest thing is all about what counts is what comes from your heart, the thinking, the reflection, the time you took to think about someone, to appreciate someone, to put things on writing, than just going there. Yes, you can take time to read what are good words, but those are not your words. So take the challenge, start writing a letter. Stop buying the pre-designed cards. Those are not your cards. Write a letter to your loved one. Collect those letters. Make it a book. Collect those letters. Give to the person, even in future years to come. I think that will be able to help you. In case today is your first time to come across to my channel, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, talking from Belton, Missouri, United States of America. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBMSCHOLARS for English, youtube.com/EBMSwahili for Swahili, and on Instagram, go and tag any person you know on this particular post. You can challenge them also to write a letter to you, and you writing the letter to them, and let me know what the letter will be. The first letter might not be the perfect one, but the more you write these letters, the more you're going to improve.